Hey guys, it's Steve with Montana Musings Outdoor Channel, and now we're doing episode 3 of the 6.8 Western Full Auto podcast. All right, so in this one, I'm just going to talk about hunting season was not successful this year. No elk, no deer. Last week of the hunting season, I got sick, so pretty much threw that stuff out the window. Had some good hunts. Though, and I don't know if you saw that one little short that I put on about the deer we saw, but I'll insert a picture of it here. So that was a pretty nice muley, and we were in an area that's in Montana. It's Unit 270, and it's just you have to have a special permit for that for those muley bucks or trophy muleys. The one that we saw, that's just an average one. There's some monsters that come out of there. So, but it was nice. It was good to see some nice, decent animals anyway. So, but that was pretty much the extent of getting to see anything anyway. So, the elk were around, but they just weren't there when we were there. So. Just one of those years. Last year, my son and his wife both got cow elk, and this year kind of ended up with goose egg. So I guess things do have a way of averaging out. But so that's the extent of that. And then I do follow some guys. It's an elk hunters group on Facebook, and I got a couple of things I can throw on here. This guy named Jason Blanford. He's in New Mexico. And he shot a nice bull with the 165 grain AccuBond with his 6.8 Western, and put a picture of that in here for you. And then there was a gal, a young gal. I tried to get. I got Jason's permission to have his name on the podcast here, and I couldn't get a hold of the gal, but to see it. But her face is covered up in the picture anyway. So, but she shot her cow elk, and I don't remember what the yardage was, but she was using a 6.8 Western and the 162 grain copper impacts, and she got a heart shot on that thing, and it was one of those things where that thing definitely didn't pencil through, because I'll show you a picture of that as well. Yeah, that thing just blasted right through that thing, and you could stick your fist through that hole. So that was a pretty decent work by that copper impact as far as getting that elk down and just blowing a big hole in that thing. So good for them anyway. It's good to see some people having some success with their 6.8 Western. So and I guess moving on from that, I did do some testing. You might have seen the videos. Tested some 130. I had in there that they were terminal ascents, but they're actually trophy bonded tipped. And of course, there's some difference in the how the bullets are made. The bonded tipped is probably, I would assuming, is about the same as the Remington Cord-Lock tip. Somewhere in that sort of category. And and they shot not too bad, but I think I was getting close to 2,900 feet per second with those, and the groups were a little over an inch, or the group that I shot with it anyway, and I think they were around 2,900 actually, 2,893 I think. So that wasn't too bad. And then I did do some hand loads for my 165 grain AccuBonds and the LRXs, and the LRXs shot about 1.5 inch group, and the AccuBonds were about 1 3/4 inches. Two of them were right next to each other, would probably be a 1/2 inch apart, and then the one dropped low, and I don't know if that was me or what, but the LRXs were kind of a vertical stringing, and they were about 1.5 inches apart in a vertical line, so not too bad. But the velocities were the LRXs were, I think they averaged about 26.35, and the AccuBonds were right around 2,600. So I've just got to either. I'm thinking about. I talked to Zach at Reloading Quest. Yeah, you'll have to check him out if you haven't and subscribe to his channel. But he suggested Grand, and he said he's had good luck with it. And then another viewer made a suggestion as well that the Mag Pro and their double-based spherical powders. You probably all know about that. I'm not that into the construction, how they really work, but I could see where that might make sense. And plus, they would also meter well, or it'd be easier to load them, I think. The 4831 SC wasn't too bad. The H1000 is a bugger. Pretty much, I just have to do it with a scoop because it won't go through my charger. So it just gets bound up in the tube. Doesn't work with the darn. So I'm thinking about trying that, and just a matter of finding some. I was going to order it online, but I'm going to be going to Great Falls this weekend, so I'll see if I can find some down there, and so hopefully there'll be some of that around, and we can try that because those two powders are known for better velocities. Same thing with the Magnum. Even though mine's a 20-inch barrel, it's the odd thing is I shoot my factory rounds and they're averaging 2850. So, and I'm not sure what powder they use in the AccuBonds, but let's see. I was using the Ballistic Tip 170, and they were around 2850, 2830, and so they're obviously way faster than my hand loads. So it's just a matter of me finding the right powder and a good charge weight that we could push those things a little faster. So anyway, I didn't mind the groups too bad. They could be better, and I think obviously that's my first attempt, so obviously I have a lot of room to play around with that stuff. So other good news is some people on this elk hunting group, and also I follow a 6-8 Western group on Facebook, and those guys are pretty passionate and really active, and it's good to have people who will converse back and forth and help each other out, and I really enjoy those guys. So, but some of those guys are getting their ADG brass. They did the early orders, got in line or whatever, and they're starting to get them. And I did see where ADG is going to start actually doing a full run in January, from what I understand. So, and I checked the website, and of course they're out of stock. And the cost was there for a 6.8 Western was $111 for a box of 50, which is, to me, that's ridiculous. But if the demand's there and it's kind of scarce, I guess that pretty much tells the story of why it costs me so much. But I'm just going to stick with my brass because I do a lot of shooting, of course, for the channel and stuff. So I end up with a lot of brass, and yeah, I'm just going to keep working that stuff. And the Little Crow Gunworks, that little tool I bought. So anyway, it's for annealing the brass and stuff, and stick it in your drill, and that thing works really good. It it controls the heat going down the brass. It just does the shoulder and the neck, and works pretty darn good. So if you're not doing hundreds of them, you're just maybe doing 10 or 15, 20. It works pretty good. So I'm glad I got that. So, but and then on another note, on the 6.8 Western, it's right here. I did get a cold tack suppressor cover for it, so that's kind of nice. Keep the mirage down and keep from burning your hand on it. So anyway, so I'm glad I got that on there. And then one more thing. Usually on these, I'm going to try to find some kind of product that you guys might want that I have picked up and I've used. And these little canister shooting bags I got from Midway, and virtually identical to the MDT ones. And I bought my first one. It was $9.99, and most of the MDT ones that are the same as this are, I think, around $38-39. And then these went on sale, and they were $5.99. And I did put a post on YouTube. You guys might have seen it. I don't know if any of you picked it up, but for $6, you really can't beat these. They're well made. I just really like them. They work really good. They are made in China, like most everything, but they are well made. I was surprised. And if you guys are looking for one, I think they're not on sale anymore. They're $10, but $10 is still way cheaper than 39 or whatever it was that I saw that the MDT ones were. So anyway, if you're just looking for a cheap bag to throw in there and you don't really care what happens to it, this is perfect. So anyway, that's what I got for you in this episode 3 of the 6.8 Western Full Auto podcast. So I'll leave you at that, and hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas is coming up, so Merry Christmas to y'all. It's a couple weeks away, so good luck out there shooting, and 22 League. We have some shoots coming up here pretty soon, but kind of a winter deal. Our regular league, they kind of disbanded that, so we're trying to figure out other ways to have fun. So anyway, that's what I got for you, and thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next podcast. So see you later.